Honourable members, good afternoon and welcome to committee stage of Bill number 19 of 2022, Public-Private Partnership Bill. I wish to inform the House that I have received proposed amendments to the bill from Honourable Member for Machinga Likwenu, and I will recognise him at an appropriate time to move the amendments. So far, I have not received any proposed amendments on clauses 1 to 51. Therefore, if no one wishes to speak, I now put the question that clauses 1 to 51 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Therefore, clauses 1 to 51 stand part of the bill. Honourable members, you may wish to note that I received a proposed amendment to clause 52, part 1A of the bill, and I now recognize the Honourable Member for Machinga Likwenu. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, amendment to 52(1)A seeks the deletion of that entire clause A. I have had discussions with the honorable ministers, and I have had further consultations after that, and we still believe that 52(1)A must be deleted. I have also listened to the statement by the Honourable Minister of Justice, who offered to kindly clean the language up to make sure that it talks about continuity of projects. Our anxiety and concern that this clause will breed corruption still remains. And therefore, Madam Speaker, let me read the clause. It says, where a PPP project has been approved in accordance with this Act, the Commission may, upon request from the contracting authority, consider implementation of the PP project through direct negotiations with a private party in any of the following instances. And A, it says, where there is need for continuity in the construction, development, maintenance, or operation of a facility or provision of a service. Madam Chairperson, we think that this is seriously open to abuse, because it does not talk about the type of project, agency, or it is not talking about disasters, it's not talking about military or security, it's not talking about intellectual property, it's just any project, as long as it is continuing, developing, maintaining, or operation of a facility or provision of a service. We think this is too broad, and the whole clause 51
Thank you very much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker. This is the clause I was talking about earlier on, that we had considered to clean up by making it clear that we're talking about continuity of the project, not of the partner. So I should say Chair, not Madam Speaker. The fears being expressed of abuse by my colleague, Machinga Likwenu, really should be unfounded. Otherwise we can never make a law, because every law can be abused. Now, here we have, earlier on I cited the CPA, the Corrupt Practices Act, which is the mainstay law on matters of corruption. And it's quite a broad act with a quite wide range of offenses. So if any corruption takes place or any abuse of office takes place, surely the person who is involved in that abuse will be caught by that act. So the fear of corruption, in my view, with the law in place that we have, and you know how it is being implemented very efficiently. So I don't think that should be the fear, Chair. We are looking at the wider picture of efficiency in the project procurement of partners to carry out public interest projects. Thank you, Chair. I'm sure my colleague, the Minister of Finance, may want to speak as well on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister of Justice. Let me now recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance, and then we'll go to Nzimba North. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think we should understand the spirit of 52(1), and of course it's got A up to H. But the issue is about continuity of the project, like my honourable colleague has actually said. Let me give you one example, for example. If we as a country had capacity to be procuring vaccinations, for example, and we're in a contract with one company to procure and deliver vaccinations to us, and for some reason that PPP has failed, that partner has failed to deliver, but there's a need for continuity because of the agency of the circumstance the country finds itself in. That is the time when the argument of continuity of the project comes in, because you can't wait 9 months to go through the laborious procurement processes for a project that must continue, because the country cannot afford to stop it because the partner in the PPP has bought it. It is that aspect of continuity that we must have in this clause, because without this clause, then some of the very urgent services can easily be disrupted because we have no provision to allow for continuity of very important projects. It could be many other things. I don't want to belabor the point, but it's the issue of continuity, allowing direct negotiation so that Malawians continue benefiting from a service which, if we had to go through the normal 9 months, 12 months of procurement processes, Malawians would suffer. So I wanted to bring that context of why continuity is a reason being propagated under 51A. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Let me now invite Nzimba North. Honourable members, may I remind us that we should make sure that we have our masks on, please, starting with the chair for the Committee of Parliament. Thank you. Nzimba North.
Let me join the leadership of DPP in this amendment. Madam Chair, what he is talking about, I think there are examples which have affected Malawi. And I think in the order paper you will see that we are waiting for a response from the Minister of Finance on the privatization of divestiture. Up to now we are concluding Parliament. Instead of 14 days we have not even been given a report. Now if he is talking about removing that, it is very, very important. Single person negotiating. This is now the current challenge which MTL is facing, because of single person negotiating for transaction of MTL to be sold. And I think it's very right and 100% right. What the amendment must be approved. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Leader of the House, and then we'll go to Majinga Lukwenu.
I wanted to bring to your attention that it's continuity of the project, not continuity with the partner, because it says where a project has been approved in accordance with this act. So we're talking about a project that has gone through all the approval processes. Number 2 is talking about contracting authority, not an individual, because we think like somebody will do it. It's a contracting authority. So there's an authority and there's a contracting authority, whether it's a ministry, whatever, but it's not an individual. So the issues of trying to personalize, Chair, should be ruled out. So you have to look at continuity of a project, not with the partner, but the project which had already been approved accordance to this law. If you read, Chair, Section 52, 1 says, where a PP project has been approved in accordance with this act. So in the first place, it is a project which has been approved according to the act. The second point is that it's a request from the contracting authority. It's not an individual. So let's differentiate that. It's not an individual doing that. So many people are thinking like it will be one person doing that. No, it's a contracting authority. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leader of the House. Machinga Likwenu.
Madam Chairperson, just making reference to what the Honorable Minister of Finance said in the example of the procurement of a drug or a vaccination. Honestly speaking, that cannot be a PPP. That's a direct procurement. So the issue does not arise in situations like those. It cannot be a PPP requiring immediate acquisition of a drug. So that would fall under the normal Public Procurement Act. And secondly, we live in this world, and if it says the authority has demanded, we know what happens. It could be somebody powerful in the authority pulling the shots. So we should not say because it is authority, therefore it will be dignified. It is human beings behind the authority, sometimes one individual. So we maintain our request for deletion. Thank you.
Honourable members, I now put the question that clause 52(1)(a) of the bill be amended as proposed by the honourable member for Machinga Likwenu constituency. Those of that opinion say aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The noes have it, and the noes have it, and the amendment has been rejected. Honourable members, I have not received any amendments, proposals for amendments for sections 53 and 54.
Point of order.
If no one wishes to speak.
Point of order. Point of order.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Rumpi East.
Thank you, Chair. We have to make bills and laws for the nation. We don't have to make bills and laws for certain individual governments or certain individuals.
Rumpi East.
What we are doing today, it's a point of order. What we are doing today, it will haunt us again, and it will haunt us
Chairperson.
Because
Rumpi East, what has gone out of order, please?
They are not for this country. They are for individuals.
Rumpi East,
and we should
desist. What has gone out of order?
What has gone out of order is a certain section of the people are trying to be against a certain section of the people.
Rumpi East, please resume your seat. I think according to our own procedures, that's why the chair
just clapping hands. Everything just clapping hands.
Rumpi
they
East,
are destroying the
please resume your seats. Rumpi East, please resume your seats. Rumpi East, please resume. Can I have order, honourable members? I think according to our own procedures, we put a question. The chair puts a question forward, whether people want it or not. So we have actually done the way it's supposed to be done, and the majority said no. So I only announced that it has been rejected because more of the honourable members said no. So I think it's procedural. So I don't see anything which has gone out of order, Rumpi East. For the rest, I think those are things you can be bringing in during debate or your contribution to the bill. But otherwise, we have done it procedurally. I have also received an amendment to section 52(3) of the bill. Let me now invite the honourable member for Machinga Likwenu constituency. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, these are public-private partnerships that require the nation to engage a private entity in the implementation of a major project. This is for major projects. We believe that the power to authorize such an activity, especially when it is to negotiate directly, cannot be made by a single minister. We are requesting that this provision be amended so that the entire cabinet must be in the know and the entire government must approve that direct negotiation, not one minister deciding that there should be direct negotiation. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Machinga Likwenu. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Thank you very much, Chair. The amendment sought is not supported. Madam Chair, the whole idea is to speed up processes of procurement of PPP contracts. Now, if we're going to go back to cabinet for every, it's going to elongate the process. So the minister should have the responsibility, and I therefore, I'm saying that this should remain as it is. It's going to reduce, and cabinet doesn't meet every day. It meets once in a while. It meets when it has to meet, but doesn't meet every day. Some things can be urgent. You can't meet. Cabinet doesn't meet every day. So we want to reduce delays. That is the point. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Justice. Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think some of these clauses should be read with sober mind, because this is one such bill which cannot be read with political lenses on. Madam Chairperson, if you read the spirit of clause number 52, especially the part 3 that is being requested for an approval, the transaction is between the commission and the private party. And the minister is not making any decision. The minister is coming in as a checks and balance for those two people that are negotiating that thing. You don't want a situation where the commission goes on and contracts somebody else as a private party, and then there's no check and balance. So the minister is only coming in to provide check and balance on that kind of negotiation between the commission and the contracting party. If the minister was making the decision, for example, if a minister decides to spend on the unforeseen, that is the time when the minister must be checked by cabinet. Or if the minister wants to give a sovereign guarantee, because the minister is making a decision on that, then the checks and balances come from the cabinet committee. So this is checks and balances where the commission versus the private party is subject to somebody checking them. But if you want to prolong it from commission versus private party, minister comes in and does check and balance, then the cabinet comes in and does another checks and balance, then it defeats the whole purpose of expedience. So I wanted to make that clarification that if you read properly, 52.3 has nothing to do with the minister making the decision. It has to do with the commission and the private party trying to go into a direct negotiation subject to the check and balance that the ministry can provide. I wanted to make that clear because some members might think that the minister is in direct involvement on this aspect. In this case, therefore, we still propose that this remains the way it is, because otherwise it defeats the whole purpose of the bill. Remember, at the beginning, one of the reasons in the memorandum why we are coming up with this bill is to dispense with cabinet, because cabinet might meet once in 6 months. And where is the expedience if you are subjecting the same things to cabinet like it has been before? The memorandum of this bill is dispensing with cabinet approval for the PPPCs. And then we are here saying, no, let's go back. Then it defeats the whole purpose of the bill. Therefore, this falls off, and it doesn't really serve the required intent of Machinga Likwenu. So I still insist, Chairperson, that it remains the way it is so that it serves the purpose of expedience of this bill. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Finance. Honorable Member for Machinga Likwenu.
Madam Chairperson, the Commission operates under the supervision of the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance, not this gentleman that is here, but a crooked Minister of Finance, could also invite the private party to appear to negotiate between themselves, and he then approves the transaction. That's corruption. That can happen. Therefore, I don't think there's a safeguard. We needed the situation then to be taken to the entire cabinet. Some of his cabinet colleagues will know that our friend is trying to get a kickback here and reject the transaction. But if it is the same minister, we are in danger.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I now put the question that clause 52, part 3 of the bill be amended as proposed by the honorable member for Machinga Likwenu. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The noes have it, and the amendment has been rejected. Honorable members, I have not received any proposed amendments for clauses 53 and 54. I therefore put a question that clauses 50.
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, if you look at subclause 5 of clause 53, there is a typo error, and I don't know how it could be cured, maybe by way of cleaning the bill or by moving a simple amendment. It's reading, the Commission shall make sure that the private party that initiated the PPP project under the section is informed of the publication of the notice.
Sorry, Chair. Section
53.
53, okay. 53.
Yes, 5.
Okay. Please proceed.
Publication of the notice and is invited to submit a proposal for the PPP project. I think it's supposed to be noticed and not noticed. So,
thank you so much,
okay.
Chair. That will be cleaned up later, but you are right. Thank you. The ayes have it, and clauses 53 and 54 are part of the bill. Honorable members, I wish to inform you that I received a notice of amendment to 55-4. I therefore invite Honorable Member for Machinga Likwenu constituency. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Clause 55, subclause 4, talks about a situation where there is no competitor in an unsolicited bid. That provision gives power to the Commission only to approve the project. We propose that in appropriate circumstances, the Commission should also be at liberty to reject the proposal, even it has not been competed against by someone else. So we propose the insertion of the words or reject immediately after the word approve. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Machinga Likwenu, the Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chairperson. Just to agree with the Honorable colleague for Machinga Likwenu, the spirit that informed the use of approve is because of the way we've always used the term approval. So if you're sending a document for approval, naturally, we've tended to mean it will be approved or rejected. But because the honorable colleague wants it explicitly approve or reject, to appear as if we are not forcing the commission to only approve. But the spirit of that clause was that the commission may approve or reject. And therefore, on this side, we will have no problem at all with this amendment, that it be explicit that they can also reject. So instead of just saying approve, it also read approve or reject as moved by Machinga Likwenu. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Finance. I now put the question that clause 55(4) of the bill be amended as proposed by the Honorable Member for Machinga Likwenu. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and clause 55(4) stands part of the bill. Honorable members, I also received a proposed amendment from Machinga Likwenu constituency for clauses 55, part 5. You now have the floor, Honorable Member for Machinga Likwenu.
Madam Chairperson, I think this one is one of the most glaring provisions of that might land us into trouble in this country. This is an unsolicited bid. A private entity comes to Malawi and says, I want to do ABCD in partnership with government. And this provision authorizes the minister or the commission not to put that offer into competition, not to publish that offer, but to take it directly to direct negotiation. So we would just see, for example, some individual renovating or rebuilding the Kamuzu International Airport without knowing how that happened, because there was somebody with an unsolicited bid who went to the commission or to the minister, and the matter was discussed behind closed doors without any advertisement, without any notice, and the minister approves it, and we have the situation there. This is the recipe for corruption, and we plead that subclause 5 of clause 55 be deleted entirely, because whatever is in the bill there is adequate for dealing with unsolicited bids. If you go to 55(1), 2, 3, and 4, that is adequate. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Machinga Likwenu. Who's that? Leader of the House?
Yeah,
and
I wanted the
Minister of Finance.
I wanted the honorable member for Machinga Likwenu to read the section first. The one he's proposing to delete. Can he read it?
In entire.
Because we could be misread here. So can he read the section 55(5)? Or if you may wish, can I read it?
Machinga Likwenu, you have the floor.
Madam, you know that you can't ask me to read.
Yeah, because I'm saying that was what we speak here should be very clear. The section 55(5) says unsolicited bids may be implemented through direct negotiations under section 52. So section 52, we have already approved it. Now if section 52 is okay, why should this not be okay? Because there's no one who's going to be doing direct negotiations without going through everything which is under 52. There's no way you can deal with 55 in isolation. So it's 55(5) is not complete without section 52, Chairperson. So all negotiations under 55(5) are being subjected to section 52, and all the safeguards that he is concerned are under section 52. Therefore, there's nothing wrong with section 55(5).
Thank you, Leader of the House, Honorable Minister of Justice, and then we go to Honorable Member for Machinga.
Thank you, Chair. Let me just agree entirely with what the leader said. In fact, if you read section 52, subsection 4, it says the Commission shall not implement a project. So let's bear in mind the fact that 55.5 is subject to 52. Now 52 says the Commission shall not implement a project under this section unless a feasibility study is conducted and approved by the Minister upon being satisfied that the project is a viable PPP project. So there will be a feasibility study in an event. So there's nothing to fear. Madam Chair, I therefore suggest that the section remains as it is. Perhaps maybe we could just clean up by saying upon satisfying the conditions under section 52. But otherwise it's clear as it is. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Justice. Honorable Member for Machinga.
The huge difference, Madam Chairperson, is that under 55.5, these are unsolicited bids. Fundamentally, that is the major difference. In 52, originally as it stands, the projects there are already identified under the Act as approved PPPs. They are in the compendium. You are just choosing one of them. Here, this is an unsolicited bid. This is the huge difference. Somebody just simply comes and says, I want to do this in Malawi, and he's allowed to negotiate. Madam Chairperson, a little bit of patience. This is the major difference. You will find that we will be implementing unsolicited bids here, not implementing our established PPPs that have been cleared by the system that is in the Act under Section 41. So 52 is talking about PPPs that have been identified, certified. 55 is unsolicited bids. And they want to treat unsolicited bids as certified bids. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Machinga Likwenu. The Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm still convinced that Machinga Likwenu has misread 55.5. I'm still very much convinced, because the first question, Chairperson, is we have approved direct negotiation, and we also are comfortable with unsolicited bill. The fundamental question that every honorable member must be able to have at the back of his mind or her mind is, can unsolicited bid go direct negotiation? Under circumstances in section, in clause 52, yes, they can. So what the honorable member really is trying to put on the floor is like, no, any unsolicited bid cannot go direct negotiation. That's not right. I'll give you another example. I'll give you another example of a pharmaceutical company under intellectual properties, and there's nobody else who can do it except to go the route of unsolicited. And can you go direct negotiating with such kind of scenario? The answer is yes. And that's what this 55.5 is saying, that 55.5, that unsolicited bids, and the way that has been used, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm able to read some of these things. It says unsolicited bids may be implemented under section 52, which means that unsolicited bids, the circumstance will arise sooner or later, that unsolicited bid may be used under section 52, under the safeguards of section 52. So why we are having all this problem, I can't see it, except perhaps that Machinga Likwenu might have misled the clause, but otherwise we still insist that the way it is perfectly casted, and it is in the interest of the public. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Finally, Machinga Likwenu.
Yes, I understand the word may to be permissive. So it permits the minister. It does not slow him down. It allows him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Machingali. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 55(5) of the bill be amended as proposed by the honorable member for Machingali Kwenu constituency. Those of that opinion say aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The noes have it and the amendment is rejected. Honorable members, I have not received any proposed amendments for clauses 56 to 102. I now put the question that clauses 56 to 102 be part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 19 of 2022, Public-Private Partnership Bill. Let me thank you so much for your contributions, participations, and your kind attention. Thank you.